So what
Yeah.
exactly does an AWS engineer do? If you could explain it to everyone in elaboration, so like so that everyone can know what exactly it is.
Okay, sure. So I guess we are all aware of what Thomson Reuters does is Reuters being the famous media company that is based out of UK. Apart from their media division, they also provide a variety of products to for law. For example, Westlaw is a very popular product of theirs at US. So, me being an AWS engineer writers, my job right now is to help with all the migration stuff, moving everything to the cloud, restructuring the architecture, and making it something that today the technologists would actually approve of. We are all aware that whenever you're in an or legacy, I mean, go back even to mainframes, that kind of code. A lot of it exists. And whenever you want to migrate something, it's not just like, oh, pick it up from there and do it. No, there's a lot of architecture involved, many discussions, and sometimes consultants are called in as well, some people who have experience. And fortunately, I have been selected to be a part of that process. It's a 3-year program to complete the content migration, and I'm looking forward to it. As of now, I can share only this much.
Yeah, got it. Since you're just a day old, so I think we can talk instead about your stint at HSBC. So what exactly did you do at HSBC?
Oh, my project at HSBC, that was my very first job. So right out of the campus, I was hired as a Java developer. I started working at the back end. I was a part of the compliance department, and I looked over customer due diligence. Customer due diligence mainly concerns all the KYC stuff that we all have to go through as a part of our banking formalities. So I started off as a backend developer working primarily in Java. Then gradually I moved to SQL. I was really very bad at SQL. I have no idea how I cleared my campus interviews, but I'm just glad I did that. So took up a few data modeling stuff that was heavily DB oriented. And from there, I started my full stack journey. I moved on to working with React, then a few more frameworks, and finally I was working at Mongo. Like we were again at HSBC, we were at the stage where we were moving our SQL DB constraints to the no SQL format, and I was a part of that Mongo migration. But since I was a little more interested at the cloud side of things, and there wasn't much available at HSBC happening, only for my project. Cloud is in the cards, but it is something of more of a future thing. And I learned a lot at HSBC, to be honest, but we are always looking for something better.
Of course, of course. So like why did you shift to cloud? Like you started as a Java developer, so did you shift to cloud after you joined your job?
Yes, I did. I actually completed my AWS certification just last year,
Hmm.
and I started participating in a few hackathons and building a few side projects of my own on AWS, and that's what sparked my interest in it. So at HSBC, when we were given our first freshers training, that are just out of college training, we were introduced to GCP and AWS. I did start with GCP first, but when I actually had one session of AWS, my mind is went, oh my God, this is so easy. Why am I banging my head with GCP? So that's how that switch happened. I'm not saying that GCP is bad or it's difficult. It's awesome. Definitely the kind of facilities that it is providing. But I'm a little biased towards AWS. So hence I kept learning and I decided that no, let's just not be a backend developer. Let's move on. Let's explore a little much.
Right. Okay. So HSBC did not have anything related to AWS, or it was not there in your project.
So it is just that it is not there in my project right now.
Hmm.
There is a plan to introduce it, but I think it will take around 1 or 2 years,
Right.
because that's how fast organizations are, and especially banking and financial institutions. They
Hmm.
actually need a lot of time when you want to decide to, even from moving away from a technology takes a minimum of 1 year. I don't
Okay.
think people in this group will actually be able to relate to that, because even when I was a college student, I couldn't understand 450 files of code, so many thousand lines of code. All of these look sound a little like, why would you do that? But that is how the world works.
Right. Everyone, whenever they enter the industry, they would realize and remember that Sanjana told us that things happen this way. So now she's being proved right because now we can see that as well. So moving on to the next question. Tell us about your schooling and your college life. Like, why did you decide to be an engineer?
Okay, so I'm from a very small school here in Kolkata, and my college is even here at Kolkata itself. So I was a very shy and reserved student in my school. People who have met me today will not believe that because I talk so much. But I was exactly the opposite in school. I was just always into my books, reading stories, or like just my school studies, schoolwork, homework. That was my world. The few things that actually did interest me were elocution, debates, extempores. I was happy in those things. Mm, I did not decide right away that I want to be an engineer when I was in school. I had just decided that I want to be with computers. So I have been coding in Java ever since I was 14. So it's been almost 10 years for me now. And I like that logical flow. I think we had started with Logo, then moved on to Basic, and then Java. That's how ICSC
Things happen
schools,
in school. Yeah, right.
yeah, take it. And I liked it because I was so happy the time I actually drew a square in Logo, that RD90 FD40.
Right.
I like things being logical. And once I decided I want to be with computers, then I was 16, I was already in class 11, and I had to make a choice. I knew very confidently that I do not want to go to biology. I do not want to become a doctor. And things happened, and I was already in engineering college then. So, in my college, a major change happened in my personality because that when you move out of your school, people you have been with for the last 12 or 14 years of your life, you suddenly meet new people from different parts of the country. You actually get the chance to interact with a very diverse group if you're lucky. Right. And they all have such different perspectives of life. The way they view life is so different. Everyone is different and everyone is good at something. It makes you appreciate life more actually. So I just started talking to people and it felt really good. All that I am today, I think it is because of the influence and all the networking that I have done throughout my life in the last 6 years, because they have influenced me in some way. If I'm learning, it's because of the people around me. If I'm slacking, it is because of the people around me. It's not me, it's just the people around me.
Amazing point made. Somebody would say that you're just not taking the responsibility, but that's very true. The kind of people you associate yourself with actually decides the path that your life takes. So
Yes.
the word of advice in words of Sanjana for everyone is that you should decide your friends very intelligently. That does decide what you do for the rest of your life. You might want to befriend Sanjana if you want. You can connect with her later. Okay.
Sure.
So how did you decide that you want to be a Java developer?
Because I was in love with Java. I was
Mhm.
absolutely in love with Java. There are many people who are into Python and like Java is so much of code and it's too much writing, understanding objects and so much of redundancy. Well, I understand their point. I appreciate those arguments as well. But when I was, I guess, 14, I met Java. I was just That was love at first sight for me. And I knew then itself that I do not want to move away from Java. Like even till today, all the interviews and everything I face, despite knowing a lot other languages, C, C++, Python, and all, I still prefer going for Java because that is something that's in my blood now. So,
I actually relate to that because I studied Python in school. So even though I studied C++ and Java in college, even I was never able to migrate to them. I still love Python a lot. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. But did you not get derailed by all the other technologies that were there in college? Because it happens a lot these days. It's like you hear about ML, so now you start doing ML. Then you also hear about some new technology, so you go towards that. How did you stick to Java, or did
So
you
it,
not? Did you just rediscover it?
so it is very natural to get overwhelmed at times when there is so much happening around you, especially in college. Everyone is doing something different. While someone is building a chatbot, someone else is like being really great at chess. So even the wavelength can differ over there. But it really did overwhelm me, to be honest. It made me a little anxious, like what am I doing? What will get me? One very important thing to note over there, what you should actually be doing at that time is go by the industry trends. Okay, we all have Google, like we all have our mobile phones. Just look up what is the industry trend right now. Yes, ML and AI are doing great, but does that mean that Java developers are not required at all? It's not that case, right? Even when people are learning Python, does that mean Java is a dead language? There have been so many people who have like actually started like, oh, mainframes is not required anymore. It's a very old, it's a fossil now. It's completely legacy. But do you know that financial institutions have their hub completely in mainframe because of how strong it is and absolutely zero vulnerability? So you need to go to the good points and everything. Okay, and then only make a decision. At that time, had it been like Java is not required at all, I might have taken a different decision. I might have changed my field in there. But I knew that Java will at least stay for some time and help me get a job as well. At that time, honestly, getting a job was, it was in my third year. I was preparing for placements and getting a job was very important to me. So I had that belief that no, it's fine. It's something I'm strong in and I can do it. And coming to the other part of so many people doing something, you can just try to understand why it is great, right? Many people will say, like, oh, do Python, oh, do React, do Angular. But why React and why Angular? You need to ask those questions and then only make a decision, right? So that tomorrow, if someone asks you, like, why are you a React developer and not an Angular one? You have your points there. Right. Otherwise, it will be just like blindly following whatever is going on. And I do not support that kind of behavior.
Right. Always draw a pros and cons list before you start anything new so that you know what you're getting into for maybe the rest of your life. Although
Exactly.
Sanjana has proved that you don't have to stick to the same thing. Look at her love for Java and then she shifted to AWS. So anything is possible. You don't have to stick to the same thing for the rest of your life. So, what all did you try before landing this job? Okay, you have answered that one. So moving on. According to you, what exactly should college students focus on in college? Like, should they go for projects, learning multiple new things, or multiple internships? What one thing, according to you, should be the biggest focus of every college student?
I'll actually stress on projects because when you're, for me, learning for everyone is different. I'll just share my case over here. I learned better when I had a running example that was done by me. So I always found projects to be better. Plus, you can make an addition to your GitHub profile. It will help you. Good or bad, someone viewing your profile repositories can at least get an idea about your coding standards. Because one thing we don't realize, it's not important to get the correct output. It is so not important, okay, in the industry. But what is important is that you follow the process, your coding standards are good, you cover everything, it's your code is clean. That is way more important than getting the end results. Deliveries will happen, deliveries will slip. It's fine. There's a whole team. If you make a mistake, it's not like a 500 plus people company will shut down. It doesn't happen. So you need to keep that in mind. It's okay to make mistakes, but keep your foundations clean. Right. So that I think is very important. I'm sorry, I actually kind of missed your question over here.
No, you answered my question fine. So
Okay.
moving on, what kind of internships did you do in college?
So actually, I explored a lot of stuff. I was not only into technical, I was heavily, very heavily involved in extracurricular activities. For example, I tried content marketing. I was even a freelance writer. I have internships in freelance writing. I was even a voiceover artist. I have internships. I championed green revolution. I worked with people. So I even worked with Radio FM, 91.9 Friends FM. These are the kind of internships I did. The only technical internship in my kitty was with NRI FinTech at that time, and that was important, but I didn't enjoy it that much because I was the only intern. I didn't get many people to talk to. But I'm very thankful of all the internships that I had tried my hands on, because one thing that I know today is very important are interpersonal skills. Your soft skills are way important than your technical skills. If you do not know how to present yourself before your boss or your team or before business, you stand nowhere despite how many stars you have on Code Chef. It really so does not matter, right? I have
Mm.
seen people fail interviews just because they are not able to explain like why a for loop is better, or for simple things they get cold feet and they can't communicate properly. These are important things because during not only during your HR interviews, even in your technical rounds, you are assessed on these things. You might be answering wrong. I have many examples where I have given the wrong answer, but I showed them that I am at least trying to think and I have my own logics. You're not 100% correct ever, right? But
Right.
you need to show them that you're willing to learn and you can keep yourself calm and composed in the face of adversity. That is very important because if you're not calm, one mistake, even though cannot shut that company down, it can cost millions to the organization. So I think right now, please focus, especially as your college students, you have a lot of people to talk to. Focus on your interpersonal skills, improve on them so that tomorrow, if you need to sell your code, you're able to do it. It's very important. It's a survival skill right now at the industry.
Right. Just to add another internship that Sanjana did, Sanjana was a part of the Uplift project with me last year that was run by Girls Group Foundation. So there we were PS mentors for 3 months, and the most amazing experience working with her. She's too good at it. Anyway, so moving on to the next question, what tips would you give to your younger self? Something you would do differently?
I'll actually motivate myself to participate in hackathons a little more in my college days. Because even though I was being busy and doing all kinds of stuff, I wish I had participated in a few hackathons. Not participating in them actually kept me away from the industry trends that I realized only at my final year. So go ahead, guys, just build projects and start participating. You'll win, you lose, it's fine. Just brainstorm. That takes you many places.
Okay. And what is the scope of growth in your current company? Where do you see yourself? Like, do you see yourself in the same company maybe 5 years from now? I might sound like an interviewer, but
So it's a little too early to answer about Reuters at the moment.
Hmm.
But for HSBC, I can share if you want me to.
Of course.
So, HSBC is a good company with respect to the kind of exposure you get, the kind of people you get to work with. I have worked with folks from UK, dealt with the business, and there are many roles you can actually try out. For people who are not that interested in technical stuff, they can move to business analysis, and these things are quite open for them, right? Uh, but one thing that I felt personally was like if you are at the very early stages of your career, if you spend too much time in an organization, you actually become a dinosaur in that project. Like you know stuff, but maybe you are not growing that much from a learning perspective.
Right.
And if you're just talking about money and positions and everything, I think it highly depends on your project and how much revenue you are actually bringing in. It's a very subjective thing. So I know for a fact that compliance was actually a non-revenue generating department, but we did decent. But maybe not as great as the global private bankings and all who actually brought in a heck lot of revenues. So it differs. And if you're not happy, just go ahead and make a switch. But when you make a switch, be sure of what you're getting yourself into. Don't. I was very afraid. I don't want to land from the frying pan to the fire. I was so scared, so scared. So I did my own diligence on Reuters before joining. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. Can you share the interview process of both the companies since you have interviewed for both of them? So, how exactly does it go for HSBC first?
So for HSBC, it was kind of a pool campus thing for me.
Hmm.
So there was an application link that was shared on a portal called CoCubes. Okay, I was registered at CoCubes. I went for the test. It had quants, English, logical and reasoning, DI, a lot of uh, microprocessor stuff, networking, OS. So if you guys are in college right now, then pay some attention to those subjects as well, or just go through a few MCQs that are available on net. There's San Foundry, India Bix, and at our time at least, these sites were really good
They are
for
still good
preparing.
enough for this. Still
Yeah.
there.
So try a few questions from there, or try solving all of them if possible. You'll definitely get a few common. Once I cleared the written test, I was called in for a GD round. Now, HSBC is notorious in these things because not always do you get a GD. You can also get an activity like building something with the team or something like that. Like, for example, in our GD, we were asked to pick the topic,
Okay.
and that itself turned into a GD topic. But what I did was I actually gave it a topic, and I think that worked in my favor. We all
Hmm.
work together. You need to show that you can work together with people. That is very important. If you're not a team player, you don't have a place in this industry, unfortunately. It's very important. After the GD, I had two technical rounds, both 1 hour each. They will ask you, if you're a fresher, they will basically grill you on your concepts or your logical stuff. And it will be pure. Mine was purely CV based. Even talked a little about my FYP project and all the projects that were there listed. And after that, finally an HR round. That is again 1 hour. There just want to see how smart you are and if you are actually fit into that HSBC goals. That's all. Yeah, that's all with HSBC. And coming to Reuters, since I was a lateral hire, I also had to go through a hacker rank test. I'll suggest everyone to actually prepare a little from hacker. Their interview preparation kits are good enough, actually, with the company tags. Prepare about them. Unfortunately for AWS, there exists no preparatory course from their side, but fortunately, I was able to clear that round. Then we moved on to the technical round. That was again on Java and AWS for me, and about whatever was there in my CV, my previous projects. Know very nicely what you are working at in your organization because they would like to hear like whether you understand the functionality nicely or not, what you are working on, right? All those stuff. And the next one, techno managerial round. That happens only if you are an experienced folk.
Okay.
That was again about my experience at HSBC and nothing that technical to be honest. Just they want to see you, what kind of person you are, and it's chill. Just keep your calm and answer all the questions. It's more of a discussion thing. Okay. And after that, finally the HR round. For me, it was mainly about my compensation details and all that. Nothing and how when can I join them. So that wasn't much big of a deal for me. I don't even count that as a raw round, to be honest. So that was all at Reuters.
Okay, amazing. Congratulations again for the new job, by the way.
Thank
So
you.
currently we have some students who are studying with
Mhm.
GSEA.
Uh-huh.
GSEA is an edtech platform that gives live classes to the students for multiple
Mhm.
technical tracks. So
Mhm.
now we'll leave the floor open for all the students. If anyone has any question, they could type in the chat box or they can unmute themselves. So now Sanjana is there to answer your questions, guys. So if anyone has any questions, please come ahead.
Don't be afraid. I'm just a person like you, and I'm very friendly.
I think they must have seen that you're very friendly in the last half an hour. No questions, guys? No, nobody at all? These sessions are for you. Sanjana is sitting here so that she can answer any of your doubts if you want.
Okay, if let's give it a minute. If the group does not have a question for me, I would like to ask the group a few questions if it's fine.
Of course.
Okay, let's give the group a minute if they have any questions. Please
Everyone is feeling. Okay, yeah. We have one
okay.
question in chat.
Okay, so Himani actually messaged me privately to suggest some good platforms for practicing coding. So, Himani, can you tell me what you're exactly aiming for interview preparation or just to become like really strong in coding, competitive coding per se? Can you clarify that, please, Himani?
For interview preparation.
For interview preparation. Okay, thank you. For interview preparation, for the theoretical part, I have actually found Geeks for Geeks great. They're really good. They have covered a lot of ground with respect to the type of questions. And if you want to practice for company interview preparation, go for Hacker Rank. I'm suggesting Hacker Rank because most of the companies these days are actually using their platform, and many questions actually do are common with them. For example, in my Goldman Sachs interview, I actually got common questions from the course that I had actually practiced before. So I hope HackerRank does you good. Is that okay, Himani?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Pleasure. Okay.
We have another question from
Uh,
Harsh Pandey in the comment chat. And he's asking, is hackathon very important?
okay. So, Harsh, are you worried that I said that I regret not participating in hackathons? Is that the case?
Yes,
So
ma'am,
typical.
actually.
Okay, don't worry about that. It's fine if you have not participated in hackathons. I'm just suggesting them as a means to grow your technical knowledge, interacting with different people, because hackathons are not always necessarily like the college projects that we have, just a bunch of folks working together. Some are working, some are not working, and most of the time goes cursing the ones not working. That's not how hackathons work actually. You also get a chance to work with people from different colleges, and you get to see their perspectives, and you build a network, right? So, for example, if Tanya is from a different college and I'm from one, and we are working in a hackathon, Tanya tells me that she is actually applying for this position at Flipkart, and she has got a referral and she's working on it. If I'm someone who is also open for opportunities, I can go ahead and request Tanya, hey Tanya, can you also help me with a referral and a few resources to prepare for Flipkart, right? Given that I was rejected at Flipkart 6 months back. It can happen, right? That's how I learn. That's how you can grow yourself. That's why I'm suggesting go to hackathons. Plus, if you have participated in at least one hackathon and presented an idea, just an idea, and the tech behind it, it's a great conversation topic for your interviews. Interviews are immediately interested in what you were doing, what your idea was, and how it would benefit business. I'm sure you'll figure out the details later. It's a it's a great way of taking charge of your own interview. Honestly, you can decide the fate of the track of your own interviews. Just keep talking. So Harsh, I hope you're fine with that, and I
Yes, ma'am.
haven't
Thank
scared
you.
you enough.
No, no, no. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, we have another question in the chat, and Nitish is asking, is VLSI design and embedded systems restricted to hardware industries, or it has some role in software industries as well?
Okay, Nitish, hi. I think I should have mentioned that I am actually from a computer science background. Fortunately, I do have some friends from um, uh, who have actually studied VLSI design and embedded systems, and so far I have only seen them working in the hardware sector only. For example, Qualcomm and Samsung. These are the only places I have seen them actually put these subjects to use. In the software industry, um, can you elaborate what you mean by software industries? It's okay, Nitish, to speak.
Ma'am, actually, I'd done one training course on embedded systems, and means
Uh-huh.
I'd asked at last to the uh, person who had given me training that is the means the domain of embedded systems important in all industries. They told me that it is important in almost all industries, but I've got mixed answers regarding this.
Okay. So the thing is,
Means
so
some are
far,
saying that it is no.
uh-huh. Okay. So far
Uh,
in my journey, I haven't seen this, but it has got a lot to do with the fact that I have only associated with the code side of things. Okay. And like I mentioned for Samsung and Qualcomm, there are actually requirements who do seek such people. But software, I am really not that sure. No worries. No worries. Okay.
okay, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am.
No worries. Harsh Pandey, while in college, did you try to start a startup or you always wanted to get a job? Okay. Mm, like I mentioned, I was already a freelance content writer, but it was not like a startup kind of thing. I was just doing that to get some pocket money. And no, I never wanted to do a startup. I really did not. I always wanted to get a job. I was this determined because of I have seen in my family, and I guess the reasons are different for everyone. So I was very sure that I don't want to go to a startup. I won't discourage you guys if you guys want to go for it. Please do if that's where your interest lies. But since you guys are young, please pay attention to the financial conditions of your family, of yourself, how financially independent you are, and how much you can actually risk in the next 5 years. Getting a startup to work takes a minimum of 5 years, honestly. Okay, so all the best. Are Himanis, are you planning for continuing with your further studies? So, when it comes to further studies, mm, are you talking about like MBA, MTech, MS kind of stuff, Himani? Uh, yes. There was a time when I was actually interested in going for MBA, but eventually I lost interest in the Indian programs, to be honest. So right now, no. As of this moment, no. But tomorrow, if you actually see me preparing, please don't come and blame me. Like, Sanjana, what? Please don't do that. Sure. No worries, Mani. Okay, Apurva is paying me privately. Is it a custom like people have to pay you privately, Tanya?
No, no, not at all. In fact, I would encourage everyone to send it in the comment chat so that others can see the questions as well.
Okay, no worries. So Apurva has pinged, hi, I am a TY student and preparing for campus interview. I haven't done any internships yet. Does this have any effect on selection process? Should I do any or just focus on becoming strong at technical aspects? So Apurva, firstly, good luck for your campus interview preparation. And it's absolutely fine if you have not done any internships yet, unless it's actually required by your curriculum, because I know of a few courses that actually make it mandatory to get an internship. If that's not the case with you, it's completely fine. Please focus on your technical skills, and while you are learning them, try making a few projects. Okay, be it only in Java or any other thing, be it just a simple automation script in Python. Have a few projects, just host them on GitHub and mention them in your CV, so that the interviewers have something to see that okay, you have hands-on experience as well in something, you have tried something. Okay, Apurva, don't worry at all if no internships, it's fine. Is that fine with you, Apurva?
I think, yeah, she has
Yeah.
unmuted, but she's not audible, so she has just
Okay.
written it in chat.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So any other questions from anyone? DSA, FANG interviews, anything? I'm not sure I'm the correct person for them, but I'm just talking about the hot topics right now. Certifications, anything. Okay, Avani, how can I cope up with coding, as whenever I code, I go blank through the concept I learned is there in any my head, but bringing that concept on the screen is difficult. Okay, it happens to the best of us, Avani, to be honest. It really does. I've had many friends who have gone through the same case as you. It has happened to me at Wells, and unfortunately, it was not even a computer problem. It was a math problem about a bird flying from tree to tree, whatever. And I went blank there as well, and I made up some, pardon me from my language, shit, and explained it. And the interviewer actually was looking at me and grinning, okay, okay, just like this. It's fine. If you think your only problem is writing them on the screen right now, then it's only practice that can help you at the moment. Okay, go for a few mocks, like do pair programming is a very popular concept in interviews. What they do is, suppose I am an interviewer and I have to interview Tanya. What I ask you to do is share your screen and I'll give you a bunch of questions and you have to code them. There are many platforms available for them. That's a very popular way of testing coding skills these days. Okay, keep on practicing. If you feel that you are more comfortable pen on paper, do that first, and be sure to try it on your keyboard as well. Okay, it's absolutely fine. It's very nice that you're actually trying, Avni, and you have realized what your shortcomings are. Okay, don't worry. And if you still need any help or anything like doing pair programming or someone you need to interview it, please ping me. I will be more than happy to help you out in this. Okay, don't worry at all.
Thank you so much. Would you just suggest some of the pair programming sites or
So I think interview bit is one. That's the only or the Scalar Academy provides as well. I'm not sure, but interview bit was one. Okay. For pair programming, I usually took the help of my friends because they can actually be blunt with you and tell you and abuse you if they really think that's the thing they should. But interview bit should be fine. Otherwise, just focus on getting yourself. Start with the easy ones, please. Okay, start with the easy ones, then eventually move to the moderate ones. Don't worry, Avni, you'll just be there. Okay,
yeah, thank you so much.
pleasure. Okay, Darshana is asked, is competitive programming rating necessary for good placement? No, no, no. It's not. It is not. It actually interests the interviewer reviewing your resume at one point, like, okay, there is a 5-star and everything. But I won't term that as something completely necessary, because once your CV is shortlisted, especially when you're going from your college, um, it depends on what you do at the interview there. Okay, so it's fine, but it's not something bad to have. It's like you can have it, but it's not something really important, because half of the people in the industry, especially the HRs, don't even know like what rating is what right now. Yeah. You're welcome, Darshana. Okay, any more questions from anyone?
Guys, last chance for asking any question in case you have any doubts. Please don't be shy.
Because uske
Sanjana
baad
is
I'll
very
start.
friendly. Yeah, you want to save yourself from that, so you better ask questions to her. Any more questions? Please put those in the comment chat.
Ma'am, how to get AWS certification? Like, what is the process? So for me, the easiest way was getting a course on Udemy, motivating myself to complete at least one module per day, which I failed terribly at. It took me a lot of time, to be honest. Read a few suggested AWS white papers. Only a few. It's not possible to read all the ones that they suggest. They're all 150 to 200 pages each. Read a few of the white papers. Definitely, very important point is practice tests. Go through at least 5 practice tests for that certification. Okay, be it on Udemy or from some other sites. Anything. Go through a lot of MCQs. Be habituated with the MCQs thing, and then just go book your exam and be fine. Okay, that's it. It's simple. It's just like AWS certification actually tests your knowledge on scenario basis. Like they give you a scenario and ask you to show them the path. It's not that true or false, or the mugging up knowledge will really not help in that case. You need to use your brain, just like maths. Okay, that's from Dikshanta Das. I have one more question from Nitish. Which certification for AI and ML is considered generally in all placement interviews? Okay. Nitish, to be honest, for freshers, certifications are not mandatory, and people don't exactly look for certifications on your CV if you're a fresher. And with certification, even a Coursera one holds value, to be honest, these days, because I haven't seen many people, and this is not exactly my area of expertise. So,
Yeah, Nitish, we'll have more people in the next few days. So if anyone comes up with that area of expertise, you can definitely ask them that same question. You would get a more satisfactory answer for that.
okay. Okay, I guess that was it from the participants then, Tanya.
Yeah, I think we can assume that.
Okay. So I had a few questions. I'll go with one for now. Does this have the facility of raising their hand or something just to show a poll or whatever? Webex?
I think everyone should have a raise hand option for them. Can any one of you confirm that? Can you raise hand? Does anyone see? Yeah, 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 they can raise their
Yeah.
hands.
Okay, awesome. So I want to ask you, are these all from colleges, final year or some students, second year, third year,
Yeah,
final year
all the
students?
students are from colleges.
Okay. So, how many of you are actually looking to get a job right now? And how many of you are planning on higher studies? And how many are actually planning both? I'll
We'll
first
have to
go
go
with
for
the,
that one at a time.
yeah. So, how many of you are actually planning for or thinking about both higher studies and jobs? Raise your hand. You can be honest with me. Trust me, I won't be interviewing you or be even involved anywhere with you guys. Okay. Tanya, nice.
Looks like I'm the only one who is confused.
Okay. So if it's only Tanya, then fine. I'll talk to you personally then, Tanya. But just in the meantime, if any of you is actually okay, I think it's Aniket.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Aniket, Shankruti Das. Fine. Just since there are not many people who are actually on that board, I just like to share that I was also one of those people in my second and third year. I thought I'll go for an MBA and I'll not do a job and whatever, whatever. So I'll just request you guys to consider a few things, right? Before getting confused about it. Things happen one at a time. If you want to go for higher studies, please focus on that. Okay? If you think this is your age, this is the time, this is when you can be actually, you financially can support it, right? Go for it now itself because later it actually becomes a little difficult. Okay? Unless it's something that actually requires experience or whatever, try getting as soon as possible because once you're in the industry, you'll hardly find time for yourself, especially if you are working at a big firm, a big or something that is at least branded itself, or even a startup. Depends how your luck will be. Sometimes you might be required to work 12 hours, sometimes you might be required to work 6 hours. Okay, that's why I'll suggest if you want to go for it right now.
Right.
Okay. And if any of you have any questions, any doubts, please feel free to ping me because I have been on that boat and I have devoted it.
So you've decided not to go for higher studies as of now.
Yeah, as of now, but I'll be lying because I actually appeared for my IELTS just 2 weeks back. So let's see where that goes. That's fine.
Yeah. Sanjana's LinkedIn will let us know what she decides.
Okay. So please feel free to approach me if you have anything. How can we contact you later? I am available on LinkedIn. I usually prefer all these conversations to happen through LinkedIn. So I guess Tanya, if you can just share my LinkedIn profile with them, they can connect with me and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. I might not reply immediately because I'm just being me. I am not, but I will definitely respond back to you. Okay?
I'll just send your profile in the chat in a minute.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Um, One thing that I wanted to tell you guys before we actually close today is please get rid of this habit of calling people sir and ma'am. Please get rid of that. Okay? Even if I am 20 years elder to you, I'm not. Even if I am, you will call me Sanjana. Okay? Your junior will call you by your name. Do not go for this sir and ma'am thing. It's a thing of the past and we are not into it right now. Okay, this was the very first teaching at HSBC for me in the industry. We are not going that dada, didi, or bhaiya. Please, do it's time you do away with that. Leave that. Okay.
I never call you Didi during
Yeah.
uplift.
I'm actually thankful for that.
Now I think I should have. It would have been fun to tease you by calling you Didi. But
Fine.
yeah, guys, don't message Sanjana ma'am to her. She would not reply. That is a very strict warning she has already given to you indirectly. So remember that. Yeah, somebody has raised their hand. Asad, let us know. Do you want to say something? Or did you raise your hand by mistake? Okay, it looks like it was probably a mistake. Unless he's typing something. Any messages for you?
No, nothing in my box.
Okay, all right. So I think since all the doubts are done and nobody has any more questions, we can come to an end for the session today. So thank you so much again, Sanjana, for taking out the time. It was at such a short notice and still you said yes. Really, really thankful for that. Hopefully all of you had a good time, got a lot to learn. And you can always ping Sanjana. She's very helpful and she'll reply to you whenever she finds time. And and that's it. Thank you for joining. Hopefully, we could have you again sometime in the future. We would definitely love to hear how your stint is working at Thomson Reuters. Right. So, thank you so
Definitely.
much. Thank you everyone for joining. Anything you would like to say, Sanjana?
So, firstly, thank you, Tanya, for actually considering me worthy of coming to this platform. I am very happy that I actually got to interact with such an enthusiastic bunch over here. I really, really like connecting with college students because I have been through that phase and I really want to know what's new, what's going on there. And
Right.
I really want to help you guys. If you guys think that I am someone who can help you in any way, even if it is not in my hands, I can at least try to connect you with someone who can be of help to you guys. I am good at this. Trust me, I am. Okay? So anything you need, please feel free to connect with me. I'll be more than happy to help you. And anything you need, if you need have any trouble contacting me, please contact Tanya. She's a dear friend of mine. So I really trust her on this.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Anyone, if you can find me on LinkedIn, I'll lead you to Sanjana. Although I have already shared her profile link, so you guys can save that, send her a connection request, and then take the conversation forward. Don't forget to add a note when you connect to her so that she knows that you are contacting her through this session, right? So that she remembers us and says that we help her expand her network, right? So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you again. With that, we come to an end to the session for today. We'll meet you tomorrow with another person with a lot of fun stories and a lot of lessons as well. So see you tomorrow. Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.